talk about the Western expansion and the way it really was. Not this New Age, cultural Marxist, no good, bushwhacking, friggin' idiotic, New Age liberal guppy stuff that it's supposed to be. But the way it actually was. I heard a video talking about the Westward expansion, and it was full of lies, completely full of lies. Lying with the truth. The best way you could do it. You take real facts, and this video had real facts. I can't remember exactly who did it now, but I'll put the link in below. Now, they talked about friggin' Indians being manipulated, ran off their land, everything else for gold, for oil. No, I don't think it was oil. For gold, for territory, for resources. I imagine that was true. I mean, you know, there's historical facts to back it up. But what they don't take into account is historical cultural relativism. Social progressives, liberals, are very good at taking the modern day and playing a foreign power, a foreign culture against our own culture, and saying, well, you know, that culture is relative to our own. There is no absolute. There is no absolute truth. Now, I kind of agree with that. There's subjective truth. Then again, why doesn't that apply to the reverse? Or more importantly, to past cultures? Why doesn't it apply to space, but not time? Why can't people see that with all those things going on, their cultural relativism is being looked upon through a lens of time? They aren't divorcing their time from the present. You have to go back and you have to divorce 9/11, World War II, World War I, everything that happened in between. The war, I think there was a war in 1900, before World War I. You know, you have to go back and look at that paradigm of culture at that time, in the late 1800s to late 1900 to early 1900s. So, what have we learned from all this? And I'll link the video, but I think this video is a lie of perspective, because when you take things that are happening and put 1960-ish modern social stigma and civil justice into it, when those kind of things didn't exist, you can't realize that those people were kind of immoral because they weren't doing something immoral to the paradigm that we now know it as. So no, the poor Indian man did not get run off his land. A lot of people were getting run off their land. Other people were being broken and destitute. Other people were indenturing themselves. If the plight of the Negro was so horrible, why was the Chinese man indenturing himself in gratitude, in gratis. Why was he doing that? I asked that in another video, and they said, and happened to look it up, and it was because war was raging all through mainland China at that time, and it was either that or death. The blacks didn't have a choice. They sold each other into slavery, had slavery, and just laughed at selling freaking what they considered worthless people into slavery for the white man. How anyone can have a plantation, though, with 40 or 50 or 100 blacks, and not expect to get their head cut off every once in a while is beyond me. You gotta kind of, well, no, you can't admire it, but, the gall of it, is just beyond belief. No wonder you had to whip him half to death. And, of course, now we know that that's wrong, but we didn't at the time. We also didn't know about territories. These people were a little bit more than vermin. They were vagrants. There wasn't the understanding that they own their land by perpetuity, by the right of just being on it and not taking those resources as the Western man would understand it. The Western man didn't understand that then, like we do now. So looking upon the Western expansion as strictly an exploitation is wrong. It's the same thing as it is now if you want to apply cultural relativism in reverse. If Atlantis just popped out of the sea and they were all like, Aquaman people, somehow high tech, but otherwise very primitive. How well would that go? Before they were corrupted and possibly forced to be invaded and subjugated, just like the American Indian. How far? And yet, I'm posting videos, I'm posting videos, but I'm posting comments, and it receives so many negative votes. I just don't know what's wrong with this world. Or me. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But I'll tell you one thing. There's something definitely wrong with a lot of people. Because sometimes it's not just the one. It's the many. And there's a lot of freaking people with their heads on sideways. That's for damn sure. Alrighty then. Bye.